Hi everybody, my name is Megan and this is a Naughty Mess Knitting Podcast. Hi everyone, welcome to episode, I think we're at 19. We are going to have a regular podcast episode this week, plus birthday things. I think I'm gonna do this week, mostly because I do want to go through my closet for the last things, but I'm on my own today with baby, so I don't have unlimited time. I have like nap time, and I think those clothes will take a little longer to go through like my feelings on. So anyway, we're gonna like fly through this today. I don't have any new cast-ons. I only have finished yarn, no finished objects. So let's talk about yarny things. Okay, to start with, I'm actually very unprepared for this, so hold on 2 seconds. So to start off with, let's talk about what I'm wearing. If you watched my How I Style My Knits episode, like way back at the end of summer, you may recognize this. I did wear this in a couple of the pictures. I was actually the first finished object pictures I ever got of this. So we're still going like way back in my closet. This is, I think, the second sweater I ever finished. So I finished last week, I was wearing the Metropolis, and that was my first. I finished that, I said October 31st, but you know, somewhere around there in 2021. And then I made this and finished it on Thanksgiving Day because I wanted to wear it for Thanksgiving. I thought this was like the fall thing I wanted. I have thoughts and feelings about this knit. The pattern, not as much. I mean, I have a little to share on this, so let's go through it. So this is called the Cinnabar sweater, not to be confused with my Cinnabar shawl. And this is by Rachel Rimo, who is Maven Crafted on Instagram. Okay, this is a top-down raglan sweater that comes with several options. It is mostly size inclusive. It goes like 36 to 64 in range. It's 4 to 6 inches though, so like not quite the top end. This is a pretty old pattern though. This is from February 2020. I know Rachel's new patterns are all size inclusive, so you know. Let's see. Okay, so the options that it comes with, I think like just in the pattern, like it's not like multiple patterns. You just get to pick things like your sleeves. So you can do a bell sleeve or you can do a regular sleeve. You can also like, and then it's just length. So I think there's like the original version that Rachel did, her sample is bell sleeves and cropped. I went for full length and bell sleeves, but you could also do like full length and this cropped and whatever we want to call straight sleeves, something like that. And the real defining feature of the pattern is just this bar that goes across, which is purl stitches. So and I think it's every, let's like look, like 6th round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every 5th round is a purl round. There is short row shaping in this. This is a rather wide neckline. I actually enjoy wearing it, like I with the little bit of short row shaping, and you can see them. I'll stand up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see, if I can see though. Whoop. You can see them like right at the top here. There's just like a little extra. It's not a lot of short rows, and that's fine. Just I think with how wide the neckline is too, like it sits pretty comfortably. Like I think the thing I adjust the most is like this is just, you know, 1 inch too wide of like always covering my bra straps, and that bugs me. So like I will adjust it. So like I just need it to be a tiny bit smaller. Again, second sweater, very different from the Metropolis. That was bulky weight. It was a turtleneck. There was like a lot of forgiveness in that. This one also relatively easy, top down raglan. Also not made with expensive yarn, and this is but you know, really different neckline, really different sleeve construction, actually having some sort of pattern going on while you're doing the raglan. You know, it's all the things I learned, again, using it as a learning pattern. I made a size, I don't know, you guys, my notes consist of, I used 8 skeins. And I don't even know if that's actually that true. I would assume I made, and I did not measure this because also I'm probably not right on gauge. I'm going to assume I made something like 48. So size 4 or 5. Maybe I made the 52. I mean, if it's roomy. It's not super roomy on me though. No, maybe this might be the 48. Okay. So let's call it that. Who knows? Either way, I will stand up again. And oh, so the yarn I used is K and C, which is like it's a Joanne. I think it's a Joanne brand. I'm not really sure. I don't think you can find it anywhere else. This yarn is called Elemental. Sorry, I just had it up. Element. And the color is just red, but it is a blown tube yarn also. So, and you can see, I didn't really know about like dye lots. I actually don't even know. They might've been in the same dye lot. I mean, this yarn has a lot of variation just because of, like the construction, right? So the red is what's poking out and giving it the color. Otherwise it's pretty much just a white tube of cotton. The construction of this yarn, or it is made with, oh, it's also discontinued now, so but it's a worsted weight yarn. It is 102 yards for 50 grams, so that'd be something like, you know, 204 for 100 grams, so like kind of heavy worsted. It was 90% cotton and 10% manufactured fibers. Oh, so it's called a chain net yarn. It's not even yeah, no wool. The red must be the acrylic piece. Okay, so you can see here though, like it does look fuzzy, and that's just like all the red poking out there. It's actually super soft. Like this is a really comfy sweater. It also doesn't get too hot because it's cotton. But yeah, you can see like I definitely have a darker skein up here. I have the lightest skein is like right over my boobs, of course. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, so it fits. It goes just about to right to my hip line. I didn't do any shaping, but I think because it's a 48, so it probably has a tiny bit of stretch over my bust, like it does drape pretty nicely. You can see here, like my sleeve goes the right place. When you move with bell sleeves though, they just go up, up, up. So, but yeah, I've had this for years. I do wear it. This, I don't like floppy sleeves. I think we've covered this. I love the idea of a bell sleeve, but I gotta tell you, like, I don't wear it that much in my normal life. Sometimes I wear it to work where I don't have to worry about, like, I'm just typing, I'm not moving my arms a lot. But like in normal life, I mean, I'm a mom now, so like I gotta do dishes. I gotta do, like, I'm constantly doing things where like not being able to push my sleeve up is very annoying. It'd be like a date night sweater though. Like I'd wear this out and it wouldn't bother me. So the edging for this, like this is an I-cord. Also, like, I don't remember doing this, but it's an I-cord edge. And so that's cool. Like I didn't even know I did that technique on anything before like this year. This is like a rib. It's a 1x1. It's a 1x1. Yeah, it's 1x1. 1x1 rib on the bottom too. Anywho, this is a cinnabar and I enjoy wearing it. So here we are. It does feel holiday-y to me. I probably won't wear it at Christmas again because like I am hosting Christmas Eve here with our family and with Mike's family, his like whole extended family. And this would drive me nuts. I actually don't know what I'll wear for Christmas. Maybe I'll finish my Doppio. Clearly I haven't because I don't have that as a finished object. Let's talk about our first and only finished object this week, which is not a knit, but it is yarn. You guys saw my really beautiful yarn on, I don't know where I put the thing. My yarn on the bobbins last week, and I washed it and I dried it, and it's called Grapevines or something like that. And I will unravel and then I'll ravel back up so you can see it because it looks really nice in the skein. But this is BFL roving. It is 4 ounces and I made one single skein with it and it's pretty. It's funny because in the braid, it looked heavier purple, and I think just because the teal plus the green, when it pulls out into strands and then is twisted, it's really green, but you can see a lot of that like winey purple color too. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a little close so we can see some of this. I would say I probably got about a DK weight from this. You can see, wow, Wow, it's so pretty. Oh yeah, there's just like all the lovely twistiness. I did a fractal spin on this, so I feel like you can really only see that, you know, color change over time from the long pull that you do, like when you're knitting, right? And this, it just looks like it's a pretty yarn. Same with like spin cycles, until you like make them into cakes, like it's really hard to tell what the actual color change like is gonna look like. So yeah, I mean, and this won't have the same effect as a spin cycle because they do like more consistent, like more color meat, which is cool, but not what we did here. I'm currently, yeah, have another, I didn't bring it down actually, so I'll talk about it right now. I have another fractal spin on the bobbin, which is Falkland. So I'm trying a new fiber, but the same method as this. I was really pleased with how this came out. And I actually think what I'm spinning right now might turn into a little bit more of a fingering weight. It's pretty thin. Yeah, so I love it. I love it. I love how it turned out. It's gorgeous. It's, I don't know, it just makes me happy to know that I can make some yarn now. I mean, I don't know. It feels like a dramatic change. And Maya definitely told us this when we were in class. She was like, you know, I guess to me specifically, because it was my first time spinning, that she was like, you'll notice a change. Like, it's not going to take years for you to get yarn that looks and feels more like yarn to you. And she was right. And this looks like yarn. Like, I did pretty good. I love it. There's definitely thick and thin patches. I had a little bit of over twisting, like over ply, over twisting happening, but it's really not as much as I thought it would be. When I pulled it off the Nitty Naughty, and like, you can then see as you go to wash it, like, does it look a little crazy? It didn't look that crazy, plus washing and then thwacking on the ground. And I did a little bit, like Ariel said, I asked her what she does after finish, and she also does this, like, you just put your hands inside and like yank a little bit, and that helps like to set the fibers. So I did a little bit of thwacking on the ground. I did that a little bit, and I felt like that also helped to even out some of those little baby over twists. So very pleased. That is my yarn. Okay, let's just go through some projects now. Oh, all the many whips. It's so funny. I'm not gonna, I know people like whip down for the holidays, right? They really try to start the new year with no projects on their needles. Like, that's not gonna be me, because as soon as I cast something off, I want to cast something else on. But I am trying to keep it cool and finish what I have right now. I don't know that I'll cast on much, if anything, before the new year, other than I still didn't cast on my socks. I caked the yarn, which I will show you. And I picked a pattern, which I will also show you at the very end of my whips. And I will use that as the close out of that section. So, okay, let's go through thing that has the deadline. I only have one project that has a deadline, which is my Duotone. And my Duotone is coming right along. I have two things in this bag, so hold on. I'm stuck on something. It's a very cute thing, but I'm stuck on it. Okay. So I did work on this week. I don't really remember where I was last week. Here, let's see. I did move the stitch marker, or my little progress keeper. That's also stuck on the yarn. There's a lot of yarn happening here. Okay, where was I? What a big tangle. You guys, this is a mess. It's Saturday over here in the hip household. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Oh, I had like been partway through the back. That's where I was when I showed you last time, which is here. Okay. So, I was like, it was hard to see because, yeah, anyway, so I, was just partway through the back panel, and then I finished the back panel and I did the little bit of short row shaping that goes before you cast off the neck. The back is going to sit pretty high, I think. So that's like how this is supposed to be. So you do a little short row shaping, you go across, and then you sort of finish both of those short rows and then you bind off, and that's where you end. And I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with these, but you're supposed to put your I-cord stitches like on a needle, because you don't bind them off. I think they can bind right into the neckline, which is actually really nice because that's the other part that's going to be, you know, just the blue. So you don't get this like kind of weird bloopy green line between your I-cord and your neckline. And then I went right to the front, guys, and I was like, no stopping. There's no stopping me now. Yeah, and then I didn't do any more this week. I didn't put a progress keeper on this front side, but actually this is my like 3rd row or something after you pick up. That's where you start counting. So I did all of the front, which was a lot less flat knitting of the whole panel. And then I split, and I've done, which side am I on? I'm on this side. I have done, I think, 2 rows after I split. So, which is fine. I do have short row shaping. I've got like not a lot of stitches to cast off. Like the neckline is not like very deep. It's a very crew neckline. So, you know, it's just a couple more stitches to cast off while I do some short row shaping, which is not a ton. It's like, I mean, it's a good amount because it'll pull my shoulder up. Okay. So I'm getting there. I like the color. It's pretty. Okay, but it's definitely getting there. So this, as a reminder, is the Duotone by Rachel Costello Knitwear. I am knitting a size 5, which is 54 inches for a bust. Recommended ease is 6 1/4 to 11 3/4 inches positive ease. I'm using 4.5 millimeter needles for the body. In theory, 4 millimeters for the ribbing, which I guess we'll find out probably this week because I will do the neckline. I'm going to connect the shoulders, do the neckline, then pick up sleeves. This is my plan, so you guys are aware. We're at the December 16th. Oh gosh, this month went fast. So I will, yeah, then I'll do sleeves. Hopefully I'll be on a sleeve next week, and then do sleeves during my like week off work. And we'll hold it up really fast and we'll see. But oh, so don't forget the rest of this. ZZ Textile, I'm using ZZ Textiles yarn. She is the like collaboration yarn dyer or whatever for this pattern. And I'm using non-superwash fingering in ink, which is 100% non-superwash merino. And it's 400 yards for 100 grams. And then I'm using her baby Sari, which is 74% baby Sari alpaca, 26% silk, 328 yards for 100 grams, or for 50 grams, not 100, that'd be crazy. Yeah, okay, so let me think. I think I have one more week of work before we're off for the holidays, and we get a whole week off between, which is really amazing. I'm working on a project that has a turn up date of January 2nd. So I will likely be working during that week a little bit. I get to tag those days for later in January to like take off, but I'm gonna, I mean, Mike and I don't have a ton of plans. We're gonna maybe like do this weather dependent, because it's been like hit or miss. Beautiful today. Mike is golfing. That's why I'm at home being mom by myself, which is fine. But we were thinking about doing something on my birthday outside, and it's like supposed to definitely rain all day. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, I do need to do serious work. But if we look here, this is my armhole. I gotta hold these together. That'll be the easiest way to see. So this is my armhole. So I have like, you know, a significant amount of inches, 7, maybe 8 almost inches of body done. So really, like, once I get sleeves done, I'm gonna cruise on the body. I pick up this provisional cast on, and it should be relatively quick. Let's hope. Here's to hoping. Let me put this back. Enjoying it. Just need to get it done. I think there are a lot of people in the test, and there's like several people that are done. Rachel Costello has made a lot of adjustments to pattern, you know, ease of reading and things. I should really love in our Slack channel, she's using the little canvas thing where you can like put links so they're always available. You don't have to find what you're looking for, like just posting updates. It's always the most recent one in the canvas. And And I'm enjoying that because I've like downloaded all these new versions and just like, it's little things, right? Like, oh, this would be easier, or like just a language change. But I want to be knitting on like the most recent one, as long as it's not affecting something I did before, like what row I ended on or something. I don't think that because I split for back like later than some of the people that found like one of them had like an extra row or something like that. And all that was corrected before I got there. Okay. So here is my, not a deadline thing, but the I don't know, it's still kind of like the exciting whip, because it's the Mystery Knit Along by Sari Nordlund. So here is my Turtle Dove shawl. And I think what's like exciting about it is that Wednesday release, you get the updated pattern in your Ravelry library and you download it and then you just start, and it's so fun. And we are on the decreases. So this was the same amount of stitches probably as last week. I think it was like roughly the same amount of rows, maybe exactly the same, who knows. And so we are just going down now. This is, okay, so Turtle Dove Shawl by Sari Nordlund, who is Sari N on Instagram. She has like the most beautiful patterns. You guys, again, she's doing her holiday sale. I have only bought a couple, more because my queue is feeling loaded, both in the yarn I have and want to use and the patterns that I have and want to use. And those patterns will be there. I can buy them at full price later. I'm choosing the non-overwhelm of having things readily available, and I will just buy them when I really want to use them in the future. Or, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe I'll work through everything in my queue and buy a bunch at one time. Probably not. Okay, so this is a one size triangle shawl. I'm gonna call it a shawlette. I mean, it's little. It is, I'm using the recommended needle size, which is 3.5 millimeters. I am using, this bobbin is backwards. I am using Back Loop Yarn Co. Cashmere DK in the color Evergreen, which is 231 yards for 100 grams and 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere. And I just love this yarn. Like this outfit, like how holiday am I? It's like, it's gonna be little though. Like, I mean, you know, imagine another end that goes here. Like I could maybe tie it, but it's gonna, I have a lot of hair, so let's reevaluate. I mean, I could maybe tie it. Like, honestly, I feel like I'd need like a little pin, which is like a more just wearing it kerchief style or something. Like, I don't know. Also, you know, you're supposed to have a DK weight yarn in it with really a combination of fingering and mohair or suri. What I will say about that is like you tend to get a lighter fabric that would be like easier to twist into something, and like maybe we'll have, I mean, honestly, I very much hope this block's a little bit bigger, but it's not going to grow enormously. So, you know, like, I don't know, maybe I'll wear it. Okay, but here's my little, I put on a progress marker this week, and this is one that my mom bought me like several years ago from somebody on Etsy. I have no idea who. And I have like a set of like 4 little owls, and this owl is red, so I thought it was very holiday to put it on here. But yeah, the pattern is gorgeous. Whoop. Those cables are fun. The baubles are baubles. I don't know, I don't have a lot of feelings about baubles. This cable is fun. You've got these traveling stitches. These are essentially right and left twist stitches only. I mean, they're not, but they're knit through the back loop, so they pop out like that. It's cute. It's cute. Really cute. Okay. That is all I have to say about that. That it's cute. And I continue to like making it. I think some of the, sorry, I'm going to grab some coffee. I think some of the gals in the knit group are, you know, you get enthused when you first start something like this, and then like running out of steam. Also, it's the holidays. People are gift knitting. They're doing other things. The shawlette was like total for everybody's spur of the moment kind of cast on. So we don't need to finish it by any means. I would like you all to see my really gorgeous coffee cup, which I got in El Salvador the last time I was there, and it is based off of Fernando Yort, who is like a very famous artist from El Salvador, his works, which are like just so fun. And you see this painting style everywhere when you're in San Salvador, and he has a little store there that you can go and purchase things they continue to make in his style. So I need coffee. It's a day. It's a Saturday morning. Still need coffee. Okay. Let's go to my Leigh. I made some serious work on this and then I stalled out because I took it to knit night and something happened. I will show you. Actually, yes, I'll show you because I didn't rip it out yet. So this is my Leigh cardigan, which is a pattern by Rebecca Clow, who is the Crayabea on YouTube and Instagram. It is a pattern that got released this fall. It's this very fun, now I can show you how much progress I have. It's this very fun intarsia back. Okay, the pattern itself gives you very like kind of minimal striping instructions, but it does like tell you, you know, per size where your middle line would be, so you don't have to do math for that. And there's like some things that like don't forget to do intarsia, or you don't have to do, you know, but she has done like, she has 3 samples that all look super different. You don't have to do it this way, but this was like sort of in the style of her first sample. I will not have enough yarn for regular stripes on sleeves. Plus I want to let this like, my like main color shine a little bit more in the variegation. So, and I have lots of that yarn, so I will do sleeves in that. Okay. And my button band will also be in that. So here's what's happening is I connected the back and the front. I can put this on like a little jacket right now. Woohoo, it's so cute. Where I ended last week is I don't know if I moved this marker. Anyway, I had to do a fair bit, like maybe a stripe and a half of shoulder. Did the connection on both sides, and oh, maybe I was on the back. Maybe it was just the back part of one of these I had to do. Anyway, it wasn't very much. And then I connected the back on both sides. And then I started a sleeve. Okay, here's where we are. Oh, before I get into this, let me do the sizing so I can put that little card here. This is a size 5, which is 49 1/4 inch bust. The recommended ease is 1 to 4 inches. Positive ease? Yeah, 1 to 4 inches. So I'm right in range for that. I'm using 4mm needles for the body, which is what was recommended. I'm pretty on gauge for the body. I did not gauge swatch. I just started and I was like, this is good enough. I did 3.75 for the ribbing, which is at the bottom. And then I will use whatever I need to get gauge on the button band. Here's the issue from this week is I picked up a sleeve at knit night and I was like, oh look, a sleeve, it's so cute. And then I like looked at it and I was like, yep, this looks super strange. Okay. So, in the pattern, she instructs you to do a garter edge on the sleeve side of both sides, which just means that you're doing like on your purl row, you're doing your first stitch as a knit stitch. So it gives you sort of like, it's supposed to be an easier place to see where to pick up your stitches. I appreciate that. But what it's doing, and I really think it is because of the garter edge, I'm also going to go up a needle size. This is the other thing that's happened. But if you can see here, it's sort of got this like weird bloop and it looks much tighter. I'll show you when it's closer. But you have this like little ledge from the pickup. If I steamed this, it might undo that a little bit, but I think you're still going to definitely see an edge. I've done lots of picked up stitches for sleeves before, and this is a drop shoulder, so it'll sit, you know, here-ish, and I don't want that line. I am going to use a larger needle. Well, I'll probably actually use the 4mm to do the pickup still, and then I'm going to use a larger needle for the sleeves, partly because I'm not flat knitting. I knit a little bit tighter in the round. I'm also knitting on small circulars. I'm like using my Chowgu small circulars to go around, and they're metal. This was wood. It's like all these things change it, and I just like, you can see. So this is my gauge on body, you know, And this is my gauge on sleeves, and it just looks so tiny. Like, it's definitely small. You can just see it right there. Like, it's definitely smaller. That's fine, right? These things changed. I didn't get very much into the sleeve before I decided. I already took the needle out. I just didn't rip it out yet because I wanted to show you just like, yeah, you know, sometimes I got to go back and adjust also. And like, I just really don't like the way this pickup line looks. So I'm going to pick up a half a stitch closer. So I'll just move my line in and pick up a half a stitch, not even a full stitch in. And that will sort of eliminate this bump for me. So what I mean, honestly, I have another ball wound of this already, and I may just do it on the other side so I can make sure that like that difference does really change, because, you know, that's what I want to do. And I thought about steaming this and semi-blocking, see if I don't like it, but you can really, like, I don't know how to show you this on camera, but you can see this like step down because of the way that garter ridge is like pulling under. Okay, well, that's where I am on this. Oh, I am using, I forgot, I like don't remember to talk about it every time. Just as a reminder, this is Sorella Classic Worsted, and the colorways Mrs. Patmore's Kitchen, Magic, and Warm Glow. Magic and Warm Glow were from a holiday release, like maybe, yeah, last year or 2 years ago. Mrs. Patmore's Kitchen is obviously from her Downton Abbey collection, though I think this is the, like, not, she just did this fall a re-release of Downton Abbey, maybe, but I think this one was from before, because I feel like it was listed right after the Downton Abbey collection came out, and you know, I doubt this person already had a sweater quantity of it from that release. So we have a sweater. It's really cute, actually, and I really enjoy the colors. Not something I would like necessarily pick, but I just got super drawn to it. And I mean, these are maybe like my colors of winter, because my Doppio, I feel like, is mimicking this, and yeah, and I'm enjoying that as well. Okay, but let's talk about my Cinnabar. So, this is the Cinnabar by Andrea Mowry, who is Drea Renee Knits on Instagram and YouTube. She has like the most lovely patterns, and now that I'm spinning, I just really get it. I get it. I get why she does what she does for a lot of them. I get why she does so many sport weight patterns, because like as a regular knitter, I'm like, gosh, sport weight's not that easy to find. It's not as easy to find in hand dyed. There's obviously like, there are more milled versions that are like non-superwash wool that you can find in sport weight, but now that I'm spinning, I'm like, this makes sense. Sport weight is actually something I think a lot of spinners get to pretty easily, and like it's really thin to do fingering weight. Sport weight, I feel like you can get there. If you tend to do really thin singles, you can do a 3-ply and get a sport weight. Anyway, I get it, okay? Also because it's gorgeous. She does love a brioche pattern, especially like in conjunction with something else. I moved my little Hello Lavender stitch marker up, and I've done quite a lot this week for considering we're growing still a ton. Look how fun these colors are. Okay, I just finished my my sort of opposite section, and I am loving it. So you can see those opposite sections really well here. And they've like consistently kind of been purple. Like that's totally by accident, but it was purple this time too. That won't continue, right? Because like now I'm going to get to this bigger thing. It's going to definitely change more. But I'm loving it. Ariel finished hers. Spoiler. I don't know if she talked about on the podcast last week. I don't think she was done. Anyway, I saw it live, and it is huge, partly because I think she used slightly heavier weights. Like that's the nice thing about a shawl, you can use whatever you want. This is made with, great time to talk about this is one size. It is made with the spin cycle yarn is called Absolute Zero, and it's 200 yards for 50-ish grams. It's a sport weight is what that's listed as. And then the gray is an undyed yarn called Driftwood Gray. It is the Good Wool by Pearl Soho, and it's 100% Andean wool, and it's 383. Oh, what does it say? Yeah, 383 yards for 100 grams. Okay, so, oh yeah, and then the spin cycle is like 100% American wool. So this is an all wool shawl, which is really nice. Will keep me nice and warm. It'll last a really long time. Yeah, so I'm like real excited to, be done with it, but mine won't be as big as Ariel's. Like, hers is as tall as her. I'm not kidding. I can't really tell how long it's going to be because I'm still on like sort of, you know, scrunched up on needles. It's definitely getting big. Look how pretty that garter section is. Gosh, it's so pretty. What I will say, this has been a fun adventure. I haven't done something flat brioche 2-color maybe ever. That's I think true. Done 2-color brioche in the round. Yeah. So that's been interesting and fun. What I feel like I've learned a lot is like I have corrected my brioche stitches, like I don't know, like the beginning of the last little flip over, like I missed one and then I didn't see it until I was partway through this section, and then I was like, do I fix it? I was like, it's gonna bug me, let me just try to fix it, and I totally did, and that was really fun. It's fun. It's fun to fix mistakes. It's fun to learn something new. It's fun to, like, you know, feel more confident fixing brioche, because that's not an easy thing to fix. Gosh, I don't know why the color looks, I mean, I do know why, because you have your pearl, like this is my gray pearl side and this is my color pearl side. Anyway, it's so pretty. So that is Cinnabar. I do want to finish that one this year. I also just don't know. I mean, I've got the Duotone I need to finish by the 2nd, so I really have to finish that this year. Plus, that'd be really nice to finish it. I think I'll finish the Doppio. The Leigh sleeves could go fast. I feel like the button band's going to be the death of me, so probably not this year. Maybe just like in the very beginning of January. And then the Doppio I would really like to finish by Christmas, but we shall see. We'll talk about it right now. I'm going to skip the Calm Down cardigan this week because I did knit on it while I was editing last week, but I did not get very far. I like literally added a couple of rows again. It's right here. So I don't really want to go through all the details and all the stuff. Yeah, like I added 7 rows, you guys. That's not exciting. It looks like it's in the exact same place as last time. We don't need to talk about it. What we do need to talk about, and maybe we just need to have, it's the holiday, so it'll be really busy, but if we do another Zoom call, I'll get time to just work on that because I feel the pressure. We are still, there's no deadline. It's just a knit with friends. This though, I'm like, there's a faux deadline by me, and I just want to finish it. So this is my Doppio, which is a new pattern release by Sunghi Knits. I think it came out like just a month ago or so. I saw the teasers forever. It is a combo yarn knit, so I'm using 2 strands of fingering, a strand of Sari to make it like a bulky weight, and that is going pretty fast. I love it. How pretty is it? It's so soft. It's not a Megan color, but I'm like really in love. I love the texture, like the Sari plus. I love the color. I just love everything. So I love everything. Okay. Details. So this is a size 5. Let me just pull this up here. This is size 5, which is a 49-inch bust. A recommended ease is 2 to 5 inches, like right at the bottom end of that range. I'm using 6mm needles for the body. I did use, gosh, I didn't put down for the collar, not 6mm, maybe 5. Maybe 4.5. I think I dropped down quite a lot for the collar. I am using Malabrigo Sock in Legend, which is the speckly color. It is 100% superwash merino, 440 yards for 100 grams. I'm using Malabrigo Ultimate Sock in Valentina, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 420 yards for 100 grams. And Teeny Button Studios Suri Lace in Bartok, which is this lovely, lovely light pink color. 74% baby Suri alpaca, 26% silk, 328 yards for 100 grams. And that's my like defining amount of yarn. So like once I'm out of that, I'm out. So I decided to get to a good place in the body. Let's see where it was last week. I'm sorry, I'm a little tangled with yarns because I've got 5 balls of yarn connected to this. A little ridiculous, yes, but necessary. So I got to the point of finishing my first ball of Legend, which is like right here. So I was about here-ish, I think, when I showed you last week, and I just knit not very much of the body to get to that point. It's like the thing in my brain where I'm like, okay, when I'm done that, then I can like move on to something else. It's not like I just ended the yarn completely. So I still have the Valentina and the Bartok and those are almost full balls, both of those connected to the body. I needed to see how I would get on a sleeve with that other last ball of Bartok, because I had connected my second ball of Bartok like somewhere right before the raglan ended, or right as the raglan ended. So again, that's my defining amount of yarn. I only have 3 balls. Malabrigo, I can always get more, even if it's not in the same dye lot. These colors are probably gonna be close enough. This Teeny Button Studios, like I just can't get that color. I mean, I could look on a D-stash, but I think I'll be fine. I was like right at the top. I'm like, I'm right there at the recommended amount of yarn, so we shall see. It's very cute. I love the collar. So I'm like pretty decently on, like, let's see, I'd have to hold it up here a little bit. Like I'm pretty decently on like length for the sleeve. I probably have a couple more decreases. I need to try it on and see. Raglans will sit higher than you think. Like just holding up to yourself is not really accurate for anything. 4, 5, 6. I think I have 3 more decreases. These are like longer decreases, like more rows between each decrease in the very beginning. I don't know how on gauge I am, so like I might need to end the sleeves a little bit early. I also don't know. I have to look at the pictures. I want to give myself, like, this is definitely a sweater where I don't want to make the bracelet sleeves too small. I don't want to make them super long, but I don't want to like gyp myself, because I feel like just you want that coziness. You want it to stay all the way at your wrist, even when you're moving around, which means you need a little bit more length than just when you're holding your arms straight, right? I think I'll get that with like her instructions. I think this will be perfect. So I did most of a sleeve this week and some of the body. I would like to just finish both. I mean, like, honestly, next week is going to be the 22nd or whatever. I'll try to film on Friday. I really don't know if I'll film on Friday. I'll try to film on Friday. Maybe I'll edit on Saturday. But yes, so it would be nice if I was done by then. It'd be nice if I just finished by Christmas. More practical. I'm really loving it though. Like, oh, it's really hard to see on camera, but you can see it so well live. Let me see what's the back. This is the back. You can really see that compound raglan. So it's a curved raglan, and you can see it starts, I'm holding it sort of awkwardly. Hold on, there. So you can see, and you can really see on me, like this line, it curves down. It's not just like it's not like a dead straight line. It does have a curve to go under the arm. Oh, it's just so nice. I think that's going to be an amazing fit. It looked nice without sleeves, but I think when I have sleeves on, it's going to be so good. Yeah, but I just have all of the balls of yarn attached to this right now. So much yarn. Which is nice because I'm going to get so much yarn out of my stash right before I do my flat lay picture. Flat lay picture, which I will do this year. It'll be my first one to do. I'm excited for it. Okay, and then the last thing I said I was going to talk about, and I'll just pop the picture up of the pattern. I have the book, the first volume of the 52 Weeks of Socks book. I am picking another pattern from that. I have not done tons. I'm not going to do all of them likely, but there's one called Vervain, and I really like it, and I am going to use this. It's got almost like a leaf looking pattern. This is not a leaf reminiscent color yarn, but like, look how nice that is, all skeined up, or all skeined up, all caked up. It looks beautiful. Lots of blue tones in there. In this pattern, it's got like just a really simple sort of this like little leaf pattern down the side, and I think it'll be enough. That's interesting, but like not too much for that colorway, which does have a lot of variation. Okay, we have moved successfully, yeah, right into acquisitions. Okay, it's birthday acquisition day, and I gotta do this before the kid wakes up, so I gotta go quick. Sorry for all the noise. You guys just heard me open that package, but didn't tell you what it was. So this is my Treehouse Knits Favorites Collection yarn. I bought this. I know what it is, but I have not seen it yet. So I figured it'd be fun. I got it like yesterday and I figured it'd be fun to open together so you guys can see my reaction to the colors I know I purchased, but like see them live. So that's fun. This is not a birthday present. I bought this many months ago, but like we'll call it an extra birthday week fun thing. Okay, let's pull out one. I have two. It feels like I have two. No, one big bag. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh gosh. So I got several things. I think I'll tell you some of the plans I have for them. And then I'll pop the pictures up of these like theoretical patterns I will use, right? Like I'm not tying myself to everything. The first thing I'm gonna pull up is something I have a sweater quantity of. And I'm really excited about this and it's so gorgeous. Oh, it's like the best kind of tweed. There's so much brown in it. Okay, so this is Dream a Little Dream on tweed sock. Dream a Little Dream is a very gorgeous like navy color. Her tonals are so saturated. They're so beautiful. Like this back here is very true to life. Like this is a little bit, I mean, that's pretty good too. Like it is bright. It's a bright navy. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean? Like it's, it doesn't look mucky. It's like just such a true blue. It is 85% superwash merino wool, 15%, you guys, I know how to read, 15% Donegal nep. It's 437 yards for 100 grams. And it's just so gorgeous. Like, look at that color. Look how much those flecks, like you can see all these brown flecks. There's black, there's white. It's gonna be gorgeous. Okay, so the pattern I think I'm gonna make is the Bibliophile by Alicia Plummer. It is, I think the fingering weight version is the one that has the turtleneck, though I think you can easily adjust that. I kind of want the turtleneck though. I've been talking about a turtleneck sweater. This is what I had in mind. It'll be a lightweight, but turtleneck sweater. That sounds so fun. Okay, so that's two things. That's one sweater quantity. Okay. I'm gonna do this one next because this is also a sweater quantity just in one color. This is Luke's Diner from her Gilmore Girls collection. It's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Ooh. Doesn't this look like a me summer color? You're right, it is. That's what it's gonna be for. This is organic sock, non-superwash, 100% non-superwash merino wool, 438 yards for 100 grams, and it's soft. It feels nice for non-superwash. Like, and I've heard this is why I purchased her non-superwash. I've heard really good things. Super soft. She doesn't put the micron count, but it's definitely like it's a 4-ply, so it feels different than the Woolberry non-superwash, but at least that's soft. So okay, I am going to make a summer top with this, and I think that I've settled on the Plumeria. I love the color that Wool & Pine did the Plumeria in, which is the picture I'll throw up here. This is not exactly the same color, but like it's that cool vibe. I was like debating maybe doing my grapefruit yarn, which I got from Explorer Knits Summer Market, doing the Plumeria in that, but I think I'm going to get more wear out of it in this color. So I'm so excited. So I've got enough yardage for that. That was my plan and I'm sticking to it. And then this is, I have four yarns to show, or 3 different yarns to show you for this, 4 skeins. And let me move these things off my lap. Okay, first of all, I got this color. I like really wanted this color, which is called the River Anduin. Okay, this was an accompanying color. Will you focus on the actual yarn? There we go. This was an accompanying color to Long Dog's first, this year, it was her first, like when she did the Lord of the Rings twice, right? We talked about that. So Long Dog yarn, Brandy. And I think for the first release, that Lauren dyed these as like one, she maybe did 2 colors that you could order on her website at the same time Brandy did hers, and like you know, just to more colors to fill out your thing. So this is the River Anduin. It is gorgeous. I mean, like, look at that. It's like a blue leaning teal. It's just so vibrant. It's so beautiful. I got it in Sierra Sport, which is 100% superwash merino wool, 328 yards for 100 grams. I also got this in Sierra Sport, which is called Alabrije. And I think it's like a cocoa color. I think that's where this one came from. She did like Coco the movie, a collection. Whoop. Can you see? It's like a foxy brown. That's just a weird way to call it a color, but like, look at the fox on her label. It's like that color. That's the color it is. It's a little bit like orangey brown. It's got some depth. Oh God, she's so good at tonals. Like, I just really wanted to, I mean, that's really all I ordered was tonals. I do have one true variegated. The Luke Steiner has a little bit of speckling, but it's a tonal. So I got this color called Very Beetlejuice on Truffla Cashmere. This yarn feels amazing. It is 81% superwash merino wool, 19% cashmere, and like that almost 20% cashmere is like why is it so soft? It's 316 yards for 50 grams, which, you know, puts it like very minorly above like all of these baby Saris that I'm using. Super similar, but cashmere is even softer than alpaca. Like, it feels unbelievable. Here's what I plan to make. And let's look at them together. I'm just going to pull one of the River Anduin. Actually, I'm going to pull 2 because it is the main color. Okay. Look how pretty that is all together. It's pretty. The Truffla is definitely like, let's look at the color. This is Very Beetlejuice. So Beetlejuice. It's super fun. There's pinks, there's yellows, there's like teal, there's more green bits too. There's purples, there's browns, like it's got everything in it. It looks really amazing, like knit up. Obviously, like it's harder to see when it's just a skein like this. It just looks like busy. It's really pretty knit up. But what I'm going to use it for is, put a picture here, the tessellated vest. I was really excited when these patterns came out. They're mosaic knit patterns by Andrea Mowry that came out as like her Rhinebeck patterns. And I knew I really want to make the cabled vest, the Haley by Hyris Makes, which is my affiliate program. I did get that pattern as my December pattern, one of my December patterns, and I am going to make that. I really want this cabley vest. My vest wear, I don't know. Like, I haven't had a sweater vest since I was like 15 or 16. And like, they had a moment back then in the early 2000s. I think they're back. Obviously, so much of fashion is cyclical, but I think I could get into a turtleneck sweater vest, a long sleeve t-shirt sweater vest. Like, I don't know that I'll wear Oxfords and sweater vests, but you never know. I mean, maybe that's what I want to wear. Like, I maybe sometimes want to get dressed up. That's a weird thing to say because when the pandemic hit and I realized I could wear leggings every day for so long, you know, I felt free. Sometimes I want to get dressed and be a real person now. So anyway, these will go together really beautifully. If you know, from seeing the picture pop up like this, the Anduin will be like all the ribbing bits. It'll be, you know, the main color that goes up and down, and then you like swap rows with these two. I think, I'm not really sure how it works. I didn't look that close at the pattern, but it looks gorgeous. Ariel just finished her tessellated sweater, and we also have on our docket tessellated socks for January, which I'm not doing a sock program, so like it's so fun. I'm gonna just like use some of these extra yarns I have, sock yarns I have, and just like extra, I have so many like socky scraps. So tessellated socks. Okay, that is all of the yarn. Well, that's all for my Treehouse order. It's not like, that's not a minimal amount of yarn. I ordered a lot of yarn from that 3 finished objects amount, which is a lot. But the whole collection was like so heavy, and blues and purples and teals, and I'm a sucker. So, you know, I purchased them and I have zero regrets. I'm so excited about them. I have so much yarn coming in hopefully by the end of the year. I'm waiting for my Spain. It's so funny. Our entire knit group, who all ordered yarn, well, like different times, but like the bulk of us ordered like in the first day, within the first hour probably, our yarns from Explorer Knits, but we all tend to get many things, and so multiple colors. So none of us have our Spain orders yet. I'm really hoping I get my Spain order before Christmas. That would be nice. I think they're less than a third left to go out to the mail, but mail has done crazy things. Like this package took so long to get to me because it got like stuck in Texas for a while, which that's where Lauren dies. It was like really hopping slowly through Texas and then went to New Mexico, sat there for like a whole weekend, and then I finally got it. Which, you know, it's a busy season for them. It's not, I'm not saying anything. It's just, it becomes a busy season. So hopefully I get my yarn. Colorado's not so far. I do have out in the mail though. It should be here early next week. So I'll show it next week, is my long dog yarn that I ordered from the Outlander collection for my mom's sweater. And I also have, my sweater. I have one sweater quantity and a couple extra skeins coming from Paisley Knits from her New Zealand collection. I'm like really excited. I really want to cast this. It seems like a January knit too because of the color and like what it is. And what else do I have out there? I have a ZZ Textile orders coming. That's from her color collection, which it may not make it here until the new year. I mean, she's like super busy dyeing things, and I ordered like one of every color, so there we go. But I'll tell you for what later. I think that's it. I mean, that feels like a lot of yarn out there in the world, but I did a lot of ordering in the fall. That's when I feel like everyone's collections dropped like right at the same time. Okay, let me go get the other big present, which is my other birthday, my real birthday thing to me. All right, let's do this. I have here, I will show you so you know what we're getting into. My birthday box. It is not open. I have not opened it yet. And I got this like 2 weeks ago. It was what I intentionally like knew I would buy myself for my birthday. By myself, I mean, Mike also got me some really nice gifts. I ruined both of those. I don't know if I told you guys this, but like, you know, the Nitty Naughty last week, I think I told you about, but then also I was like, oh yeah, and I'm going to order a Lazy Kate too. And Mike was like, I also got you one of those. What he got me was actually, I'll put a picture up here. He got me the Ladybug, like on the Ladybug, it's words. Okay. What he got me was the Ladybug, like, on wheel Lazy Kate, which is actually just like 4 metal rods that come with a couple extra things, and you can tension on it. You could have them untensioned, but I will say is the tensioning, like, I gotta look at how he set it up. I mean, I'm sure he did it correctly, but like the tensioning felt pretty tight when I was using it last week to do this plying. So I felt like it was fighting a little bit because you're like pulling this way and then letting it ply in. And I just like, I was like, this is kind of hard. I flipped the tension off and it was so much easier, but then they roll really fast. And I was like, okay, I feel like I could play around with this and like maybe just come up with something a little less. They're like rubber bands that are on, and it's like they just are a little too tight. Maybe they'll loosen. Maybe there's another setting. I'm not really sure. But I do kind of like it. I was like, oh, like putting them here is like not very different than pulling from the backside. I just, you know, like the tensioning is what I'd have to figure out. Anyway, so I totally ruined that present for myself too, but he put it on as soon as it came in the mail then, which was nice because I needed to use it this week because I gave Katie back her Lazy Kate since it's not mine. And I'm hoping that I can keep that, just like I don't have to have another thing outside of me, outside of like, you know, the wheel. What I will say is I would like to tell you the wheel has officially been given a name. Her name is Millie. I'll let that sit with you. I really like it. It's a good name for her. We're a house of Mike and I are M's, and I just feel like, you know, even though our daughter does not have an M name, that's what I wanted to name her. Millie is so cute. I also really like that because this Lazy Kate has 4 storage places for bobbins, like I just have less stuff around, which also Mike really likes. So like I have so many bobbins right there. I don't have to go find them if I need a new one, you know, like it just makes this whole like, pulls it in a little closer. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Okay. I will show the first thing. This is a D-Stash fiber haul. That's what this birthday present is to myself. But what I will say is I started the conversation with this person on the D-Stash Discord because she posted for a very affordable this Queensland Collection Rainbow Beach Australian Superwash wool. It's sport weight. It's 328 yards for 100 grams. It's 100% superwash wool. It is in the colorway boysenberry, and I wanted it. It's so bright. It's so fun, and it's like 6 skeins of sport weight. So I'm going to get a whole sweater out of this, which is really exciting. And again, sport weight patterns. There's a couple Andrew Maury's I'm really loving. Sport weight that I'm not ready to sweater spin all of these things for myself, right? Like I'm clearly just still making my way. Anyway, so I really wanted those and I bought them. And then she said, I have some more yarn posted and a bunch of fiber. And I was like, fiber, tell me more. Like what? And she has this massive collection and she was just like absolutely the best. She took pictures, like I gave her the colors I really love, and she took a bunch of pictures and she like just gave me descriptions just to me, just like in DMs. And so I really got to pick what I wanted without any pressure to make a decision like within 5 seconds. But I actually just did sort of make fast decisions because I was like, you know what? I'm going to just spend some money on myself for my birthday. And also with the blessing of Mike, knowing he knew he got me like some, you know, smaller gifts of things that I would need, but he was like, yeah, I don't know what to buy you for yarn, and I know that's what you really want. And I said, yes, that is what I really want. So oh gosh, there's a lot here. So let's see what we want to unpack first. Okay. I'm gonna start with this, and I'm gonna need to pull up Discord because I don't remember what all of this is. What I do know is this is a sparkly bat weighed out for me in Cordale, and the Cordale includes, like, I think it's just Cordale and these sparkly strands, and so it's much more like a yarn bat. Like this is not prepped in an easy braid. Most of the fibers look like they're going the same ish directions, so I'm gonna have to talk to my friend Bridget on how do I tame this into something that I can easily start spinning. But I also got it in teal because, like, how fun is this? It looks a little crazy, but like live, this color is gorgeous. And it's going to clearly be something that's like so fun. They very clearly go together. There's a little bit of teal, a little bit of pink. I mean, maybe this will be something for the baby. I'm sure she would love sparkly things. So who knows when, but it just looks like unicorn barf and I really love it. Oh gosh. Okay. So fun. She put these in big bags for me, which I really appreciate. Let me look up our Discord conversation since it's on my phone mostly, but so I can see what everything is. Oh gosh. Let's see. This next thing I'm going to pull out was in the same bag. And some of these I will try to go back and find the weight of them. Okay, these are heavy. I think these are both 8-ounce braids. So I have a whole pound between the two of these. I'm gonna roll it up. It's so cute. Okay, so this is merino and tencel. And you can see that tencel, you know, is like the shiny bits. Sorry, my face is in the way again. Okay, so that's pretty. But I have a even more fun fact. Okay, I can't hold all these things. Hold on. Okay, even more fun is that it comes with a little buddy. And that's one of the things I loved is I can do like an entire pound of like a combo, because this is the other color, which goes so nicely with this. This is my little dream here. Somehow to combine these two and figure out what's like the best way to do that. But like, they like really pull off of each other. And this is something that I feel like, I don't know how you do it exactly, but like, even if I split it in half and did 2 big spins end to end and did the same thing this way, and then did a like put them together, I feel like that would give me like, not quite barber pole because I would get like these little bits, like, but it doesn't travel from one color to another necessarily. It's got just like little bloops, but it would maybe give me like almost a spin cycle-y vibe. Or maybe I do like half, I don't know actually. Who knows? Someone give me a good idea of what to do with this. But like these tones in this one, all right, that's really what killed me. But I like the red. Okay, so she put in the thing 2 big braids. Let me see what it says up above. I don't know. I think she said each of these are 8 ounces. I'm gonna put them back to contain them a little bit. In case you're wondering, yes, my child is up. No, I'm not gonna go get her because I did enlist Grandma so I could finish out this episode. Grandma wasn't doing anything right now, so she's gonna get baby, give her her bottle, and then I will go back to mommy duty as soon as this is done. She slept that whole first part, and I had to get ready for the episode and everything, so it was a pretty good nap. Let's see. Okay, let's open this one next because this one's really fun, and this one has a label. So this one is called Farm Blend, and it's called the Pinwheel Mega Bag. It is 16 1-ounce balls. So again, this is another pound. Super affordable rate. This is by, oh, like, I don't know who these other, like, if she didn't include a label, most of them, she didn't put, like, who it was by either. So I don't know who dyed these. If you know you have something similar, like, let me know, because I would, like, love to go back. I think if I really love something, I might just message her and be like, hey, do you have any idea who did that? So I could do more. But this is by the Frivolous You. It says Farm Fresh Fiber. Like, look how cute this little logo is. Little squiggly sheep. Yeah, so, okay. So, I'm not going to pull this out because that would be nuts. You can just see it, though. So, we have 16 different colors, and it doesn't look like all of them are totally solid. Like, this here is clearly, like, 2 colors semi-blended. This is a blended color here. This one over here has got some, you know, some color change. So, like this one specifically, like this is a little 1-ounce ball, I think, and that has like a color change. So this will be really fun. And what I'm pretty sure she said is that this is, so it's called Farm Blend, that it's like several different types of wool, but it is 100% wool in here. So, I don't know if she like posted, I could probably look on her listing, like what types she generally has in there once I get to this. But how fun. It's like super bright. It's very, very like rainbowy. So depending on how I want to do this one too, which this one I might save like for the summer because it feels like the summer colors. I could do so many different things to spin this, and because 1 ounce is not like nothing, like that's a sizable amount of things, so I could really get creative. I'm not gonna do that right now, but it would be really fun. And also like maybe by that point I would kind of know what some of the fibers are, and I think it's like sometimes it's hard to tell. I think you can obviously tell between like superwash merino, like just touching the fiber you can tell how different it is, or even just super fine merino, not superwash, but like I have some super fine merino, and then I have like the Falkland I'm working with right now, which feels a lot like the BFL, which did feel really different from the Corriedale, which, you know, so like, I don't know, you can tell, I guess. I won't know if I'll be able to identify by that early, but I'm gonna do it sometime. Okay, let's see. I got it now. So this one is a superwash merino cashmere blend. It is 4 ounces, and it's really pretty. I just like really, there's a lot of yellow in this, but like I think it's like the pink and the tealy, like this is such summer beach colors for me. There's a little bit of like lavender in there. Oh, it's pretty. And the cashmere, oh, so superwash merino and cashmere, it feels incredible. I don't know what the percentage is, but like I like it. I'm into it. Okay, in that same little bag, I got this, is also my only other, so I only have two like 4 ounce, plus the Corriedale Sparkle, but the Corriedale Sparkle, you know, I got 8 ounces total, so I could do like whatever combo thing I want to do, or just two together that I could use in a project. This is the only other 4 ounce one I got, and this one is BFL and nylon. Does this have a little tag in here? It just says 70% BFL, 30% trilobal nylon. I don't know what that means. It's like the source of the nylon or what kind. You can also see it there. And I'm pretty sure, so like when you spin things like silk and nylon, like those are slippy. So like it definitely changes how you spin it a little bit. I'm gonna practice. I have 1 or 2 others with nylon that I got from Giselle, maybe one with nylon from Giselle. Definitely she gave me some silk blends, and so I want to play with them, and I feel like a 4 ounce one is pretty safe. But like, look how fun that color is. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. It is really this vibrant. It's like so nice in real life, and you can see here, where can you see best? Like right along the top there, you can see this like shiny, oh, hide my face. You can see this like shiny bit, right? That's darker purple. That's definitely the nylon. And I assume that these are like sort of prepped this way, and then dyers, you know, dye the whole thing at once. It's not like they're adding the nylon later, right? So, but it does take the color, like it does look, you know, here's a place you can see it, like that darker bit is the nylon. Like you can just see that it takes the dye differently. Okay. I don't know anything about it. We're gonna figure it out together. But I'm really, oh my God, this one feels so soft. It's incredible. Okay. I'm gonna bring up this one next, which is my, what you call this? It's 15 ounces, and it's gray, blue, rainbow. Which is fun. And I don't know that I'll take it out of here. And it's merino. I think it's just 100% merino. I assume that means non-superwash, since she didn't indicate. And like, look how fun that is. So yeah, this is definitely like rainbow vibes, but like a pastel-y rainbow. Like I think when you spin this, right, as soon as you start spinning, colors are a little less, you know, vibrant in chunks, but they last a lot longer than this little bloop here. So like, I don't know. I like it. It's nice. This one I think I bought in with like more baby in mind. Like maybe she'll get a handspun thing. Also, like, what if I did a series of hats out of this or something for the family? I don't really know. I really like it. Maybe it would be, merino would be nice. I mean, yeah, you could use merino for a lot of things. All the things that you want to be soft. Okay. I mean, 15 ounces is also a lot. Like, what if I did like a t-shirt for myself? You know, who's to say? I could definitely get a toast out of 15 ounces. Like, even if I spun like a DK, I really only need less than 4 balls of yarn. And when you spin, depending on how tightly, like, how do I explain this? I don't know all of the things, but when we talked to Maya about this, basically when you spin, you tend to need more weight than commercially milled yarns, because commercially milled yarns, they are really consistent in the worsted prep. Like, it's the same amount of twists per inch, right? And it tends to be slightly airier than what you do yourself, right? Because your fingers are less smart than a machine. They really are. But so, I mean, yeah, you get thick and thin pieces, but I think what happens is like, when you do like sweater spins, you know, even if you only need 4 balls of yarn for something, getting 16 ounces, if you intend for a DK weight yarn, which you just need more because you're going to end up with like slightly denser yarn. So like I actually counted the number. I think I have like 390 yards for 7 ounces of that blue and gray BFL Corriedale mix that I made the other week. I think I showed last week. And that means like that would make it, if you did like a manufactured yarn, that makes it like a bulky almost. That is not a bulky yarn. Like that yarn is definitely like a worsted yarn. It's just heavier. So you know, knowing your yardage is important. You can't just be like, oh, this looks DK-ish and it weighs X amount of yarn. That means I have this many yards. Like, no, that's not how it works. My Nitty Naughty is 60 inches. So I looked it up last week. So I didn't actually count on this. So basically after I skein it, I can, or on the Nitty Naughty, it's probably easiest time to do it. You just count how many loops you have and then you multiply that. After you wash it, I think you get some shrinkage, but if I like estimate it's like 3% of shrinkage, like it still looks like it's about the same length skein. I can do over under. Also just pick patterns where you're going to be like mostly safe-ish. Also, this is the yarn that I had, but like it smells incredible. But anyway, like you can, I mean, I'll do the weight and yardage on this, and then like I'll let you guys know. It is different than you would think. That's all I'm saying. So again, could I do a t-shirt out of that rainbow gray? Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe a tank top. But also that would still be fun. Okay. Back to opening the present. I have one more thing to show you. This is 3 braids of purple superwash merino. So, and they're all 4. Oh, there's a little tag in here. I'm going to open this one so we can see it. They are all 4 ounces. And this little card says hand wash or machine wash because it's super wash. And this is from Knit Knacks and Fiber Fun. Those are 2 compound words, Knit Knacks and Fiber Fun. Spinning and Fiber Art Supplies, which is in Illinois. And this is a cute, look at that cute little, these little sheepies. Why are they so cute? Okay, anyway, that's her little art. So this is what we're talking about. And I'm going to pull them out because I feel like you can't see them otherwise, like the difference. So the first 2 look like they are almost the same, but I think this one is lighter. So it's purple, pink, blue. Gosh, how pretty are they? And this is very soft also. Superwash merino, obviously, so soft. Super pretty. Okay. And then the second one looks really similar to that one, but it's definitely got more purple in it. I think that's like the defining feature. Maybe a little bit more blue, but it's definitely more purple. This one does not go with these 2, but so like these 2 I could totally spin together. But you can see how this one is lighter. Can you see that? Maybe I'm just like making that up, but it feels like there's more pink. There's like some of this like really light purple. There's really not those bits in this. But I can definitely spin that together. So that's 8 ounces. And then this one is not with it, but like it's the darker side of very similar colors. So this has got a black, a really, really deep purple, the mid purple, and then the pink. And like this braid just by itself makes me so happy. I don't know what I want to make with it, but I love it. And because this will pull out, like this is the middle, probably I have 2 black ends, right? I could do lots of fun things with this. I think I don't want to be afraid too of like pulling apart a braid if I want to truly make a gradient. So like pulling the top and the bottom, like cutting it, like not cutting it, but like, you know, yanking it apart at each of these color shifts if I wanted to just do a real color shifting yarn. Like I could do that. I don't need to just do it because it was dyed this way, right? I want to leave space for that in my spinning journey. Right now it feels like a lot to take in. Also, like I'm busy. I want to keep spinning, but I don't want to think too hard. So like, that's why the second thing I did want to try a new fiber. So this week I'm doing the Falkland, which I also heard was a good beginner friendly yarn. So I wanted something that wasn't gonna be like super wash merino. I'm not gonna jump to that this moment. But was not just another BFL, which I have more BFL to spin for sure. I'm not really ready for a blend yet either. Like, I think give me a month or so. I mean, like a silk or nylon blend. Give me a month. I'll probably jump one on, even if I'm not, if I'm not feeling really confident. I think you have to just like jump in and do that. I've got a really pretty Polworth I want to use. That is from Giselle also. That's like all green, which I feel like would be a fun, it maybe will be my like week off yarn, a week off of work yarn, because I'll finish this one I have on this week. And I did not take a picture of it, but it's my first Into the World yarn, and it is 100% Falkland, and it is, I don't remember the colorway, but it is gray and blue. That's the vibe I feel. I feel like I'm like Ice Queen vibes is what I'm feeling right now. Okay. So that's really all I have to share about my birthday present. Do you want me to here, let me pull them up again. I'll show you how much I mean, this is a box, and the box was very full. So I got this many fibers for me. Is it nice? I mean, imagine these not in the bag. Like, they would be like the most soft pillows you ever felt in your life. I need to make room on my fiber shelf. Reorganize a little bit. Look, I'm still grateful that she gave them to me mostly like in bags that make sense. Like, I'll probably put those sparkle bats into smaller bags so that they're not like touching other things, because they also are like much looser. And I will rearrange I keep looking over here. This is my fiber shelf over here. I put some old bookcases we don't need in our living room anymore in here. And honestly, when I do my flat lay, I'm gonna like just reorganize everything. Will I put my fiber in there? I might do fiber specific flat lay. Now I have enough, I could definitely do it. The purpose of the flat lay, in case anybody is like questioning, like, what are you talking about? Is like, I'm gonna take all this yarn, I'm gonna lay it flat on the ground. I'm going to do it in whatever manner I feel like is going to make the most sense, by weight, by color, sweater quantities together, projects together. I'm not really sure. With the help of Katie and Sylvan, I think they volunteered, and I have it from Sylvan in writing. I'll help Katie with hers too, whenever she's ready to do that. Sylvan says she doesn't have enough room, and it would take her a ginormous effort to move them other places. I'm still trying to convince her to do it. I feel like she has... I want to see her stash, but also I just feel like it would be fun to do. And she makes so many projects also in a year, so it's kind of rewarding. So what happens is I'll take this picture. It will look crazy. I will actually probably just put it on my computer to like do the manipulation. But when I finish yarn, and I'll have rules of engagement for this, because it's also like, you don't leave a quarter of a skein if you have a half or a quarter of a skein left. You just use it as, leave it as, you color in the whole thing. So basically, I'll take a picture. I'll show you what the picture looks like. It might be more than one picture. And then you color in when you complete the yarn. So at the end of the year, it's a visual, because like these shelves change a lot, but like I'll get new yarn and I'll stick things in, and I'm not going to keep them completely separate. It'll be like, this is all the yarn I had in the beginning of 2024. I'll do it again for 2025. I'll do it again, you know, who knows for how long. I just want to see if I like it. I have a spreadsheet, which we're going to talk about also next week probably, that like we can talk through some stats. Maybe I'll save that for the 29th when we talk about some goals, yarn goals, and I can kind of talk about the stash numbers a little. And that's rewarding too. Like I get to, but I also keep in there if there's grams left. So items don't like completely go away when I finish a big project. They do on the flat lay, but then you also bring them back for your next year's pictures. But regardless, what I'm trying to tell you is, I mean, you can even see, here's some like blank space, but also that truffle is going to go right in there. And I have some things that like I have dedicated for projects like also on my fiber shelf, so I'm gonna have to rearrange it. And so when I do the rearrange, this fiber will make it over there. Right now it'll just sit next to it, and this will get reorganized somehow, and I'm not sure. I like the way it is right now because when I'm like looking for inspiration, I have like by yarn type so I can easily see some of this, but like I may shift where things are. Like I'm not feeling super bulky motivated right now, so like maybe this doesn't need to be right here. Maybe I want to change where my shelf lengths are because this is a Billy bookcase and I can change a lot of that except for this midline here. This one's the only shelf that doesn't move. Yeah, and I could just rearrange how I want when I put it back in. I will very likely be talking to Katie and Sylvan about that when we reorg. And no, that is not a small feed. It is something that's going to take a while. I will feed them food. I will give them hot chocolate. I will give them tea to help me do this. But it does sound like a fun thing to do and sort of like a nice like start of the year kind of thing. What else do I have to talk about? So my birthday's coming up. It's going to be on Tuesday. I will be turning, you know, I don't even know, 35 this year, which is right in my mid-30s. I'm loving mid-30s. I think it's I've had a wonderful 2023, honestly. And I can chalk a lot of that up to finding my knit friends. Sounds stupid, but like it's really, I mean, finding new friends is never stupid. Like that's the greatest joy. But like also getting to be a mom this year. Yeah, we brought Theo home at the end of 2022, but those first few weeks are brutal and also chaos. So really 2023 is the year we got parenthood. We understood. We got to see all of her changes and all of her growth, and we just did a really amazing we get some early intervention for her because she was a NICU baby for quite a long time, just to make sure. And for us, we're in it for more professionals to tell us she's doing well, even if we don't have any worries. So we got to take her to some of those appointments over the last 2 weeks, and we took her to an OT appointment yesterday, and they said she's perfect. And I said, yes, she is. Even though she's not ready to walk, she is doing great. And we're, you know, we're in love. We love her. She's the greatest baby. Let's talk about books real fast. I can't tell you what my birthday plans are, other than the fact that Mike will make me shrimp and grits for my birthday breakfast. I don't have a lot of plans. I do probably want some knitting time. I maybe want to do like a favorite movie kind of thing. I would like some time outside of the house because we take the day off work, and that'd be like kind of nice to go do something. But again, it's gonna be really rainy. Like we looked yesterday and I was like, okay. And also we got a kid who naps twice a day still, so like we might just do something close by that we can like take her to do something different. Okay, what am I reading? This week I finished reading Ninth House. It might be the only thing. Yeah, I think that was the only thing. Oh no, I just finished another book. Okay, so I finished reading Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which is the first of the Alex Stern series. It ended with a bang. I really like it. I'm definitely gonna, I think I put the other one like on my TBR, like from the library. I put it as a request. I'm gonna jump into it. I got like 5 library books over the past couple of weeks, though. They like, you know, you put things on hold for months and months, and then they all come at once, like I said before, but like they did it again. So I'm going to work through some other things and then revisit that probably in January, but I really did like it. It was very good. It's pretty dark. There's not really like, there's no romance. It's just a fantasy series. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of self-discovery. And yeah, the premise is like the Yale secret societies use magic. That's the premise, and bad things ensue. There is a girl who has a more natural affinity, that's Alex, for the occult. Maybe we'll say that. I'm not exactly sure how far her natural abilities go. I kind of saw the twist coming, but also they lead you through pretty good, like it's sort of a whodunit kind of premise, but also like so much more that you're learning about like the world. It's not this like one little case. There's like a big, it's a blow up of corruption and bad actors, but it's good. It's really, really good. I definitely suggest it, especially if anyone here took my suggestion to read the Skullman series and you like that. Like, yeah, again, it's like magical and school, but this is really different, but similarly like has a dark edge, a character who's learning a lot about themselves and has made bad decisions in the past. Like that kind of premise, like I really like. So the other book I just finished this morning is called Lovelight Farms, and it is a Christmas book. It is the first in a series. I think there's 3, because there's like 3 owners, co-owners, whatever, of a Christmas tree farm in, I think it's Maryland. And that's like the premise, that you're going to follow all 3 of them fall in love, essentially. I think I know who the second one's going to fall in. I actually think I know who all 3 of them are going to get paired up with from this book. Little hints put in, and like maybe possibilities, some that don't really make sense, but like the guy, I'm not sure. There's a very distinct possibility, but it could just be nothing. Anywho, this is by B.K. Borison. It's, you know, it's a Christmas book. They have a Christmas tree farm. It couldn't get more Christmassy than this. What I will say is the Cody Hall book I read last week, it's Christmas season. But that is also the Nick and Noel's Christmas playlist was also a Friends to Lovers. This is also a Friends to Lovers. It's not my favorite premise, but that's also a series, and I might pick those back up. It was pretty good, and it's about, the other 2 of that series are about Nick's sisters. He has 2 sisters, Mary and Holly. Nick, like Saint Nick, Mary and Holly. I mean, come on. I think their last name is like even Holiday or something. Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, like, come on. They live in the town Mistletoe. Like, it's the most Christmassy little series. This one also super Christmassy, but it's basically like this girl, her dream is to have this Christmas tree farm because she didn't have like roots growing up, but it's a place that her mom like took her, and it's like free to the public. But it was not just a Christmas tree farm. There's like a Santa, Santa shows up there, or actually they decided no, maybe when she was a kid there was a Santa. Anyway, but you can like, maybe it's a cut your own tree farm, because it's like really like you can wander, there's like stuff to do, they have hot cocoa, they have baked goods, like whatever. It's a small town romance. This is also a Friends to Lovers, but I'm gonna say, like I said, that's not my favorite genre. This one's pretty good because also like the extenuating circumstances why we didn't get together, not just like I just figured out you're a girl, but the girl's been pining for years. It's more complicated than that, and like a pretty good, it's pretty good. I wouldn't like, it's not a riveting book or anything, but it was a very good Christmassy thing. And as I was thinking about this, I was like, I guess like the Friends to Lovers is like really a Christmas trope, right? This is a Christmas miracle. It's like this new discovery of magic at the holidays. I don't know, that people like would get together who have been together for a long time. There's a lot of like traditions that happen, so you can bring in like friendship things. I'm not really sure why that's like such a big thing, but it's definitely a big thing for Christmas books. So I am reading, I'm still reading Fractured, which one is this? Fractured Trust. Oh yeah, this is the 3rd of the Fractured. Did I finish the other one last week? Hold please. Oh yeah. Okay. So sorry, I also finished Fractured Dreams last week, which was the 2nd in the Fractured Rockstar series. I'm Kindle reading those. That one was good. Again, with the slightly like it wasn't just a stupid reason that there was like, the blow up, the moment between the heroes or whatever. I thought it was pretty good. It's just a romance. These are just contemporary romance books. The 3rd one is about the drummer in the band, and he is reconnecting with his like high school sweetheart, and they broke up for, this one I think is like, they broke up for like a very dumb reason. A lie, a miscommunication. I'm not really sure like what happened, because they neither of them want to talk about it, right? But she comes back into his life. Well, he comes back into hers. And you know, obviously they're gonna find their way back to each other, but it's gonna be rocky. There's a lot of broken trust there. Well, it's called Fractured Trust, you guys, duh. Anyway, so that series is by L.M. Dalgleish, and I'm liking them. I mean, like, my Kindle reads are never something that are super riveting, because I read my Kindle right before I go to bed, and a lot of times, like right now, I whip through like the first 20% of this book, and then I've been so tired at night. By the time I get into bed and I start reading, I read like, I'm in the same conversation I've been in for like 3 nights, that like I have read 4 paragraphs or less and fallen straight to sleep. So I have to like go back a couple pages and just like whip through this part, because I don't even know what's going on. Yeah, but I just finished the ebook, or the audiobook of the Lovelight Farms. So I did say I'm going to jump into Wheel of Time. I still haven't started the 4th book, but I think I really need to, so I don't get like just sucked into a romance only moment. I like to have a thinker also. I think we've been just really busy. It's the holiday season, so we've been doing like a lot of friend things. We had the greatest time at Charlotte's last weekend. Then I went to see MJ the Musical, which is about Michael Jackson, with a friend who invited me. And that took up a lot of my Sunday. We've been like, we had a game night on Wednesday. I have been working on some of these projects like while I'm out and about. I did not take anything to MJ the Musical because I just didn't. We were going downtown and stuff, and I didn't want a big bag. And I don't have anything small. I don't have my socks. You guys, I need to cast these socks on. If I'm going to finish them end of the year, like, that's going to be tight. But yeah, I'm like, we had game night with some friends. One of my watchers, Camilla, hi. I got to meet for the first time, which is one of my husband's coworkers. They've been working together for years, but it was her first trip up to Seattle. She lives in California. She also has kids and sent us like a nice, really, really nice, generous box of stuff when Theo was really little, toys and things like that, some clothes. And yeah, so I forgot that she watches the podcast. Mike did tell me that, but she's not a knitter, but it was really fun. And then she got to see me. I was like, see, I really do take my projects everywhere. Game night was easy enough. We were playing games where I could definitely get a couple rows in. And really the sweater or the thing that was easiest for me to take around right now is the Cinnabar. And the Cinnabar is not small. So I need these socks on my needles. So I have a travel project, but like, I can't read the pattern for the turtle dove anywhere. I only have 1 more week of that, so it'll be done soon. I can't take around my Doppio, has like 100 balls of yarn on it. The leaf, I was just not ready for the leaf when because on Tuesday is when I decided I hated that sleeve. You know, it's the things, like sometimes it's a reason to start a new project, which like it's going to be the socks right now, but like to have the travel project, to have the no thinker project, or just to have something smallish, and I just don't have that right now. So yeah, the socks, that's what it'll be. But I feel like maybe that's why I need like a hat on the needle. Guys, I don't need to cast anything on. I'm just talking, and I'm not going to convince myself to cast anything else on right now. Definitely casting those socks on so I can do my year. And as much as I want to start one of these beautiful Treehouse knits, it's not going to be the first thing I cast on next either. Maybe I should start making my January list. That would be fun. I don't like, sometimes I put down what I want to do in a month, and like, I just throw it out the window like the second week or less. Just do whatever I want, whenever. It's the feelings. I mean, this is my hobby. It's the feelings. And I think one of the next things I'll cast on is a t-shirt, because I did say I want to do some t-shirts, so I start the spring with some new things. All right, everybody, I'm just rambling at this point. I am going to next week pull down all those knit objects in my closet that I don't wear. We'll have that discussion. That's the 22nd-ish. And then the 29th or 30th is when we will do year-end goals, maybe a little reflection, some stash stuff. And I will likely film my everything I knit over a couple of weeks, but have that released within the first week-ish of the new year. I don't know when I'll start it, sort of depends on parent time and all of that. But yeah, that's gonna be coming up. So we've got all these like fun things gonna be happening. I mean, maybe we'll do like, maybe I'll do some real vlogging for the flat lay, because like it's gonna be a production over here. So maybe I'll get some footage of us setting up the actual picture. I can talk you through some of it, the reset up of the shelves and what we decide. I'll need a clean house for that. It'll be right after holidays. We'll probably be okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Give me a like, subscribe if you haven't, please. Write down below, like, any questions. Oh, this is actually like, I sort of covered like, what do you want to see in the what my year of makes episode, and I got some good feedback there. But Sylvan actually compiled a really great list of questions, Sylvan and Katie, that she sent to both Ariel and I as like questions to cover as like in our end of year recap, or, you know, maybe even separately. If you guys have any things like, what do you want to know? Like about my thoughts about the year or my thoughts about the coming year. Do you have any questions? There's a fuzzy I can see in the camera. Get out of here. Do you have any questions? Is there like anything? I mean, I'll say like one or two of the questions from Sylvan were like based around like favorite thing I knit this year, or like the yarn I'm most excited to use upcoming, like those kinds of questions, or just, you know, what are you guys curious about? They can be anything. I mean, I've sort of covered a lot of things, but I'm still like kind of new into episodes. Yeah, and I'm just looking back and thinking ahead at the same time. It's kind of a fun time of year. So I'd love to know what you're working on. How are your holiday makes going? I am not doing any, so I'd love to know what you guys are doing. Do you have, does anyone else have Christmas sweater plans? Are you deep in it? Are you gonna make it? Our friend, our knitting buddy, Charlotte, she finished her Christmas sweater like, she did it before the Christmas lunch that she hosted last week, and I couldn't believe it. I walked into the room, and at first I did a double take. I was like, is that the sweater? Like, you were not near done it last time I saw it, which was just like a week and a half before that. So, you know, I think people sometimes put the gas on to just finish that Christmas sweater. I might do that with the Doppio. I'm making great progress on it anyway, but, do you have one of those? How are your Christmas makes going? Yeah, and questions. Keep the conversation going. Find me on Instagram if you want. I'm also a naughty mess there with the underscores. And on Ravelry, I'm just a naughty mess. And you can find me there. I've got a bunch of you have followed me there, which I like never had any Ravelry friends before. But it's really fun because sometimes I just click into the friends section and I'll just like look at what projects people have on. Like maybe that's like weird, but I feel like you get inspiration from the people in your life, right? So just seeing like color combos, what patterns people are interested in. Are they like deep in the vault? Are they brand new? Yeah, I always am interested. Yeah, so that's all for me. Thank you, and I hope you have a really great day or whenever you're watching this, and I hope you're all enjoying your either summer weather down. Oh, guys, wait, before I sign off, the summer weather, this reminded me. Bex, who is the gal I did the yarn exchange with from New Zealand, put out her first podcast episode the other week. I like finally had time this week to watch it. Usually I put a podcast episode on while I'm doing like busy work at work, like end of day kind of wrap up stuff, or when I'm just like knitting, but we've just been having all the crazy things that we're doing. And I am finally catching up on podcasts, and I watched Bex's, and it's so cute. It's so nice to hear her voice. She hears mine all the time. That's where she found me, but I hadn't yet. And to see her little yarn corner and to hear her talk about like her recent makes, it was really cute. So if you want to find them, it is Rebecca Ann Knits, all one word. And I'll put a link down below if you want to check out her first episode. It was really cute. Love to support a friend in this new space for her. And yeah, so sorry. Enjoy your weather. I hope you guys are cozying up with some warm things if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you are getting your warm drinks and you're getting ready for your end of year wrap up. I will talk to you all next week. Have a good one. Bye.